Come on now. Well, apparently you cannot film in landscape mode with, so naturally I am working with the best that I got. You know, yeah, it's about as good as it's gonna get. Let's get the rest of the team over here. All right. Live chat. All right. All right. See if we can't try to explain what we got going here. Going live on YouTube now, because YouTube is the coolest live platform there is. You can monetize with it. You can do a lot of other things respecting freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom of religion, freedom of a lot of things that you don't get on many of the other platforms, like that book one and the other one. And you know, recently I was just bananaed from the children's streaming. I was able to stream. I was just trying to make a few cents on the side, and something about streaming something like this they didn't like, and so they cut me off for 3 days. So now I'm going to go do what I do here on YouTube for a while, and I might even stay longer, because when I was, you know, broadcasting on TikTok, I had a few viewers in there, and I was sharing the information on how to read the graph, and TikTok didn't like me sharing the information on how to read the graph. I'm self-taught, and I was saying that by no means am I a professional or trying to, you know, it was for entertainment purposes only, and that, you know, move forward at your own risk. So I get kicked off of TikTok. I was doing all right. I was actually making like 35 cents every time I went live for like 5 hours. And so I have now migrated back to YouTube. I've been reactivated as the activist that I am, and trying to use cryptocurrency now to fund the revolution. In the meantime, I'll give you guys a quick update on what I've been doing to inform people on how to not make the same pitfalls that I have. You know, again, I was kicked off at TikTok because they didn't like me sharing information on how to read the graph, which I if I wasn't told the information by somebody that's professional or stock trader or whatever, I actually looked up the information, learned what the red and the blue lines are, the SMA and the EMA, and how they affect the price point line. You know, my terminology might not be all there, but in doing so, I've learned a lot about cryptocurrency and how it's very similar to trading stocks. I really think that I wish I'd gotten into that earlier. Anyway, up to date now, I've been playing with cryptocurrency for just a couple months, and I just got into doing some serious trading in the last couple weeks and spent a lot of time learning how to not only read the graph, but you know, the pitfalls and mistakes of jumping in a little over your head. So I'm down a couple $100, but you know what? I've also made a couple $100, so I'm kind of even. I mean, I'm still down a little bit of change, and you know, it's not easy to, you know, do this as, you know, some would think. And I figured I could do it. And here I am doing it, because even though the learning process of spending money, losing money on the fees and things like that, you want to buy in on the pro services, it gives you an opportunity to trade more. And then when you're doing your trades, make sure you do your math right on how much it's going to cost you to do the trade, because it literally can be pennies on the dollar when you're trading just a couple $100 here and there to get a few cents. Now, the trades that I'm doing, they're literally only making me anywhere between a handful of change and a couple dollars per trade. But you know, when you add a handful of change here and a handful of change there, next thing you got a bucket full of change. And I'm collecting change and filling my bucket. We were looking at the 10-minute model for Bitcoin, currently running at 108,410. I'm looking at the SMA and the EMA. They're pointing down, which is not good for those that are looking to make money. But if you're looking to buy when they're pointed down, that is a bonus. So, and I don't know what it is with people that come in here and they look around for a minute and leave. And you can't just come in and go. You gotta pay your dues if you want to learn. Be here for a few minutes. There you go. I got to get me a new stand. This one's a little wanky. So, in the meantime, I guess there is a chat here. I'm a little new to doing the YouTube live and monitoring the chat, but I'm assuming if somebody's talking to me, it'll pop up on the screen somewhere at the bottom, maybe. Get ready to make money. And for you viewers that are just coming in now, if you have any questions or something, please throw them up in the chat box. I am new to learning how to use this platform. Again, I mean, I've used it before, but relearning platforms when you haven't used them in a while, they've changed so much, and the mobile is different than the PC version. So quite convenient, though. I really do like YouTube. It's one of the better platforms, if not the best platform out there. I mean, yeah, you got Jake Paul that made a rise to stardom using YouTube. Not that I much was a fan or am at all now, but that's the kind of thing you can do with a lot of effort and a little bit of character, or a lot of character. And Jake Paul is definitely a character, and so is his brother, whatever his name is. And for viewers, again, coming in and out, I have to repeat this over and over. If you have any questions, put them up in the chat. I was on TikTok and they kicked me off for something. And viewers coming in and going out, I'm tired of repeating myself. So I'm just going to stay here for a few minutes and hope that somebody either punches up a question, or I'll just go ahead and do what I'm doing and make money, make money. Well, that's a good 3-hour climb. Bang, bang. The warrior. Yes. Oh, yeah, man. I'm having flashbacks now. Of course, I'm always having flashbacks. You guys are going to be sorry when you're not in here. People coming in and going out. Wait till you see this thing light up. This thing starts spinning one direction or another. Oh, yeah, that's when it gets exciting up in here. And don't forget, again, for the new viewers coming in and going out, tell your friends. And if you have any questions, throw them in the chat box, because this isn't TikTok where I can invite you in. You can request in. We'll give ourselves a thumbs up. No, we can't do that. Oh, well. You know, I wonder, maybe they'd be happier with something a little farther back, but I can't see back here. What are you doing, James? Trying to set up the camera. Yeah, and something that I've been having to do is replace my stand. It is all jacked up, but it still works. Oops. Come on. I need just something to prop this here. There we go. This will work. There we go. I got a couple monitors up here. I'll try to monitor the chat here. I'm probably not going to be answering very many questions because, well, nobody really asks questions. But I will be, come on, posting up here all night to make me some money. All right. All right. Again, for new viewers, I will say it over and over. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. I will try my best to answer them all in a timely manner. This really is child's play. If I can do it, you can do it. Where do we go? I don't know if you can see that from where you're at, but let me take a look. No, it says 0, but that's where you fill the box in. for transfers. And right now, I don't need to transfer anything because I'm making money the easy way. And for those of you new viewers, what you want to do is keep your eye on that thing. I was telling everybody what I was doing and how I was doing it over on TikTok, and TikTok said you can't do that. That's something they claimed it was something which it is not. And so I have an appeal with the Ticker Talkers to see if I can't get back to going live with them. Otherwise, in the meantime, I'm here over on YouTube, my backup channel, or my primary media, independent citizen media broadcasting channel. OccupySFTV has been around since the days of Occupy in 2011. One of the good things coming out of the Occupy movement was I learned how to be an activist and stand up for my rights. I knew I had rights, but I didn't know how to stand up for them. So having them and using them are two different things. And if you don't use them, what's the good in having them? You know, and also if you don't exercise them, you will lose them. Having rights is like having muscles. If you don't use them, you will lose them. So I encourage you, get out there, go fishing, go hunting, go driving. You don't have to have a license for any of those, and it's that's constitutional and common law. So you do have a right to do those things without permission from the government, because in the Constitution it states that the government shall take no right and turn it into a privilege and charge a fee for it. So that means that fishing, driving, hunting, all of the things that most people pay a fee for and get identified as to who they are to go do said activity are actually contributing to the delinquency of our own government. And, you know, you need to, and what I do and what many other people do is educate those of you out there that aren't aware of this, and encourage those of you out there that are aware of it to share that information with friends, family, and strangers. But in the meantime, I am working on Bitcoin here, and it just jumped. Oh, God, that was a pretty good jump a little while ago. Let me go. That's the 1 hour model. Wait. Oh, that's the 1 hour model. Is that just now that jumped? Huh. What is going on here? That is a lot. Huh. Yes, veterans like myself. You support the veterans? Hardly. Another organization which we don't need to support the veterans if our government supported us in the first place. This is what makes me so angry about it, is that you, the American people, we, the American people, pay the taxes so that our veterans can be taken care of, and we aren't. Many of us are left out to dry, to die in the streets of America, the country we signed up to protect and defend. By the way, for those of you that are here watching, this stuff's the bomb. You got to get yourself a Jones special release Nuka Victory Cola. These are for the Fallout series, right? Fallout on Prime. Pretty good show, but these are awesome, and they're like a collector's edition. A friend of mine got them for me, and I'm not going to tell you what I pay for them, but they said that there's a lot of places around the country that they're paying upwards of $5 or more for one bottle of Nuka-Cola. This stuff is really good, and I might actually say that it could almost be worth $5 if you really like it. It's definitely worth $5, but being in my location, I'm not paying $5 for it, so I can drink it for considerably less sum. But I'll tell you what, if you're willing to pay $5 for one of these, I will send them to you. If you can't get them where you're at, I will box them up and mail them to you. But they will be $5 a bottle. You'll also get this really cool sheet for it. They come in a 4-pack. I had to go back and grab a fresh 4-pack out of the storage. So they come in 4-packs, right? And really, apparently the sleeve is a collector's item. So I have extra sleeves, and this one's a little banged up. This is what I use for the model. And I'm not really into selling these, but Papa's got to get a new pair of shoes somehow. So if you message me or send me an email, I get all those kinds of things from YouTube notifications. So, and not that I've been very active in the last couple of years. I've taken a step back. I'm back, and I don't know about you, but I think it looks cool. So don't forget to watch Fallout on Netflix, and get yourself a 4-pack of Jones, Nuka, Victory, Cola. Like I said, even the bottle caps are collector's items, because as you know, in Fallout, if you watch it, that they use bottle caps to trade as a currency. And I've got a bunch of bottle caps too. So if you're a collector of those kinds of things, reach out to me and let me know. I never thought I'd be doing this. You're pimping yourself out on the internet. Yes, I am. And I'm okay with it. Let's take a wider look. And speaking of a wider look, do you see any movement on this thing? It's like Bitcoin became silent for the last couple hours. Like, it literally nothing. And I'm going to turn the camera a little sideways for you here. I got my world clock up here. So Paris is currently sitting at noon. It is noon in Paris right now. Beijing, it's 6 p.m., 7 p.m. in Tokyo. New York City is at an early sunrise of 6 a.m. and London at 11 a.m. And I'm wondering what's going on here, because it's really slow moving. Like, here, let me widen out the view for you and show you how slow it is. Where is my... That's the 1 hour view. All right, come on. Let me trying to get to the 3 hour view, but it is not. Refresh. All right, yeah. The 3 hour view kind of looks like the 1 hour view, and which is good. They're both going up. We've had a couple of pitfalls in the last couple of days. I had to recover from. Put a couple $100 in on Bitcoin, and then the damn thing drops. And that's the pitfalls of doing day trading. you put in at a time when it's normally, you figure safe, it's already come down a ways. You put some money in, and then like literally, I've had some of the worst luck. It'll fall within, if it's not within 5 minutes, it's within 24 hours before I can have a chance to make any kind of a profit. And once it falls, you wait till it hits the bottom, and then you buy some more. At least that's what I do. That's what I've been told to do by professionals. And this might be the reason why they kicked me off of TikTok, is because I was sharing the information, and I said, this is by no means professional information. You're to take risks at your own accord, blah, blah, blah. This is for entertainment purposes only. And like literally a few minutes later, and I've been doing this for a couple of days on TikTok, finally I was getting some viewers, and I'm thinking one of the viewers thought that I was perpetrating fraud. That's what they actually said. And I was like, fraud? I was like, I'm actually sitting here reading out of off of Google what the SMA is, what the EMA is, the red and blue lines, and how they affect your long-term forecasting and this and that and whatever. And TikTok kicked me off. I was like, what? Wait, what for? And it really pissed me off, because the strictness that they have, or the tattletale-ness of some people that don't know what they're talking about or looking at. They see something for 5 seconds, and the first thing they do is, oh, here's another one to report. It's like a bunch of Karens. So I'm back up here on YouTube doing my activist thing, reporting about things that are wrong with the world, and trying to help those out that I can help out by sharing my pitfalls and mistakes of how to avoid those mistakes, what to do and what not to do. Think of it as free information, and you can take that free information and do whatever you want with it. I'm by no means trying to educate anybody in any way or sway them to do or not do something. This is just my personal thoughts and opinion on what I'm doing about me. And TikTok, as much as I like the fact that you can make some money doing it, it's very difficult to get it into a good niche or a good role with them. You got all these hoops to jump through. And then the language barrier is very difficult. It was a platform made for children. So me being Gen X, I got a few choice words to use for TikTok. They should actually maybe make it so that if it was a children's platform, that, and I know they have us ask, oh, are you 18? Or, that's, some people do that. I don't know what the deal is with that. But maybe it's because it's kind of adult generalized discussions. But TikTok, I got a love-hate relationship with it. And so since I'm banned for 3 days on TikTok, I'm over here on my very old but very useful YouTube account, OccupySFTV. And thank you, viewers, for coming in here and watching and letting me vent. Because literally, like I said, doing the trades, I'm only making 35, 50 cents, $1 here and there. And I'm not going to get rich doing this, but I am getting a new pair of shoes. And I'm just trying to share that information on what I'm doing and how you can do it also by taking the information that I'm sharing for free. And you can figure out what to do with it from there. And if you don't like that, you can put that in your pipe and smoke it. Right? Shazam. So right now it's really kind of boring watching the graph. I'm watching the time here. Beijing again is at 6 p.m. So they're shut down for the day. Paris is midday, and I know that a lot of times stocks just kind of roll along real slow, but I've been watching this thing for 2 weeks straight. The last couple of hours have been gruelingly slow. Although I prefer gruelingly slow than heavily exciting, because when it's really exciting, I can see why the stock market guys get a little the way they do, because it's really high nerves. I mean, they're working with somebody else's money. I'm working with my money, and it's not much, but it's all I got. And when I have pitfalls, and I recover from those pitfalls and share that information on a platform like TikTok, and then they get pissed off at me and call it fraud, kick me off for 3 days. Yeah, I definitely jump over to YouTube and cry about it. One of the things that I've come to find is there's always a Karen out there. No matter where you go, there's somebody that's going to complain. They don't like what you're doing. But you know what? If you let the assholes take over, the assholes will be in charge. So one of the rules that I follow, somebody taught me, a good friend of mine, a Marine, he said, if you let the assholes take over, everything will turn to shit, because the assholes will be in charge. And I totally agree with that. So instead of letting people get away with, little stuff, I speak up for it, what they're doing, and say stuff. It might piss somebody off, but you know what? I don't fucking care. I mean, I do care. I'm not trying to piss people off. But if you can't take the cold, hard truth, then, we can always FAFO. Yeah, old Neil Young will remember too. Southern man don't move around anyhow. Home, Colorado. Hey viewers, thanks for jumping in here. Appreciate it. Whoa, what was that? Sales. They love the governor. Boo hoo hoo. All we can do. Wait, what did he say? Yeah, does your conscience bother you? Oh yeah, sweet home. Colorado. Mm-hmm. Home, Colorado. Oh yeah. Hey, what do you know, viewers? How are you doing? Comments, questions, suggestions, concerns, bullshit. Just put it in the comments, questions, and oh wait, hold on. There's comments and questions. Let me pick this up real quick. Oh, I need a new tripod. This one's jacked up. Yeah, what does it say here? They don't want you. Oh, yeah. You're right, Willie Lewis. You are 100% correct. I really think that some people, that when you start doing things like what I do to be compassionate and help other people and show them how to avoid the pitfalls and mistakes that I've had, and have to be triumphant and victorious. That there's a lot of haters out there, but you know what? I fight through that shit. I just drop TikTok for now and jump on over here to YouTube and explain the story. I mean, it is a kids platform, so I can understand why they're so strict and all, but it's the Karens that piss me off. Here I am trying to share information on how to read the graph, and as a novice, telling you that this is for entertainment purposes only, and somebody gets all in a hair about, and I'm literally explaining how I learned the process of what these lines and these blinking lights do. So I put in an appeal to TikTok, and they denied it. And then I put in an appeal to appeal, and they denied it. Again, that's why I'm over here on YouTube. I do usually not do this here or there, and I started doing activism many years ago, and I was a live streamer, streamer, what all that, and part of the comms communications for Occupy SF, and we communicated with Occupy Berkeley, Occupy LA, Occupy New York, Chicago. So it was a coordinated effort, and it was really difficult working with some people that were anarchists, and as an anarchist myself, I'm going to admit that I was not necessarily the easiest to work with either. But when I say that there will be no drinks on the comms station computer table, I mean it. And when I got to Occupy and told everybody that I'm here to help, but I'm not helping until all the drinks are off the computer table, everybody looked around like, what the hell, who's this guy? And you know what? They moved the drinks off the table because somebody was like, why? And I was like, because I'm not getting a drink spilled on my computer. This is the lifeblood of this, occupation. And this is also my lifeblood source for information and producing the material that I do. So I'm not getting a chance getting it spilled on. And if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. So, and there was actually a couple people that agreed. They helped clean up the area. And then there was a couple people like, fuck this, I'm out of here. People trying to dictate to me where I can drink my drink. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to protect everybody's equipment. It's not just about me, So, but anyway, moving forward from Occupy and doing the activism thing, getting into streaming, and then falling back from that, getting into taking care of me after I'd taken care of so many other people, stood up for the oppressed and homeless veterans, doing so much activism that I said, okay, I need to take a step back and work on me. So now that I've finished working on me, getting back to a level of production where I can actually make things happen. Now that I am making things happen, I'm back, and I'm going to be back with a vengeance. So try to keep up. If you have any questions, please ask me to go back and repeat or clarify what the hell I'm talking about, because I do have a tendency to ramble, and some of my stories don't necessarily connect together for you because you weren't there for the other stories, or I've been hit on the head and I just, sometimes the record skips. But back to analyzing the graph and how to analyze it. Here's a quick, great example. The line on top is I can't really see with my glasses. It is red. I can't see if it's visible to you or not. Oops, hold on. The bottom line here. Oh, good. The price bar jumped. The blue line is the SMA, and the red line is the EMA. They kind of help you predict where your price point is going to go, whether it's going to go up or down or over sideways. If it's going to make a turn and go from up to down, those two lines there are great indicators, but they only help you more or less at the last few seconds, unless there's something like, the way they're lined up now, they're all wanky, so that's why you get wanky lines. That's also the format that we're in right now, because we've had a huge gain, and then people started dumping their stuff. China did something the other day and dumped a bunch of stuff, or I'm just blaming China, but who knows who did it. And so we've had a several thousand points fluctuation, all the way down from 111 and change down to 106, almost in a half. So that's a good 4,000 points, 4,500 points actually. And we're starting to get some screen lighting up. It's nothing big. There's nothing going on. I'll bring in to the 10-minute. I mean, look how fast it's moving. Oh my God. You better buy now, quick, before it goes too high. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's falling. Too late. Just kidding. Here, that's another example there. As the time progresses on, the SMA and the EMA, you can see them kind of moving around after they've jumped forward. Next section, and you can see as the price is dropping that they're moving around, dropping as well, because they're the indicators of what the market wants, what it's doing, what the price point is being set in. The red line is for more like day traders, and it says this on Google that it's used for quicker evaluations because of the way that it was programmed and designed. The blue line is for longer estimated, gains or losses. I mean, you want to know when to get out of the market. If it's going for a downward trend, it looks like it's going to go for a downward trend for a while. But I mean, if it's going to go for a downward trend and you want to be staked, it doesn't matter if it's going for a downward trend, you're staked. And that means that you're going to be in for at least 1 year and or longer, but it has to be, I believe, 365 solid days that you got your chatter sitting in the account, and you'll get a payback from that, as long as the business doesn't go completely under, even if the stock is down. But I mean, that's the stock market. I'm not real sure on the coins if they do that, but I heard that they do, that it's similar. So anyway, I'm hoping that there could be like maybe 1 or 2 viewers in here when something pops off and you see blinky, blinky, blinky. Oh, it's like a Christmas tree. And the numbers are up and down and up and down. In 1 minute, it's 85.66. Next thing you know, it's today 108 is 000 and dropping to 107.54321. Holy shit. And then it bounces back up another 500 points, like in a second, at half a second. And you're like, what in the hell was that? And well, what that was somebody just sold a bunch of their stuff in it. So it dropped the price, or a bunch of people sold, and it happened to be at the same time enough to drop 1,500 points off the books, which that's millions and millions of dollars or Bitcoins, Satoshis, whatever, to get the kind of drops that we had the other day. For example, that was either a coordinated effort, some sort of large corporation, and what you'll do is you'll set up a bunch of sales to happen consecutively in a row, and you'll have also a purchase point set, a multiple purchases set at a purchase point that's extremely low. So what you do is you get your sales, and you start getting you selling off your stocks. And you're selling them off so fast and at a low price, so that what happens is people are buying them, so it's dropping the price. So it rapidly kicks them out. It rapidly gets picked up and bought, but it drives the price down so fast that if you're sitting here waiting to buy or sell and you're about to click on the button, you might click buy now, and by the time you let go of the button, you either gained or lost 500 points that fast. And then the buy point that they have set up, so the money drops out, and then as soon as it hits that bottom point, to keep it from going any farther, they buy a bunch of that stock back in, and then it starts reeling that number back up because it's bringing value back to the stock. So you get this huge drop in about 1 or 2 seconds. It drops 500 points, and in about 2 or 3 seconds, you're down 1,000 and up to 1,500 points, and it starts bouncing between 1,500 points and 800 points. So you got a 700 point bounce on the low end, low to middle end of the drop. And if you're in the middle of trying to make a purchase when something like that happens, that can really throw off your purchase price, because you're like, I thought I purchased that at 103,000, and you're like, it says 103.5. If you look at the grid right now, it's at 103.6 and dropping. Because it'll bounce right up real quick to 103.6 and then still start falling because they're either pulling more money out or people are like, what's going on in this? So they start pulling money out. And then you have crisis like what you have had for the last 2 days. You get like the news. I heard there was a news report this morning, and that's why we had a bunch of falling again today. People panicking, selling all their stock, thinking it's not going to have any value. It won't have value if you sell it. But while you're selling it, I'm buying it. You know what I mean? Like while I was losing or was down on the, I went to do a switch to make a purchase and then, float it up and over a hill or up a hill, do the sale, wait till the hill drops, do it again. I mean, that's how day traders make their money. That's what I've been doing. 35 cents here, 45 cents there, a nickel, a dime, whatever. Anything that's positive. Sometimes it's $2 or $3. That's great. You do 2 or 3 rolls a day, you made $6. And I mean, it's not making a living. You're not going to get rich. And the only reason that I'm doing that is because I need a new pair of shoes. And that's, I only got a couple $100 to work with. But it's real easy to do if you follow the formula. When you buy and when you sell is real easy when you think about it. Buy low, sell high. But let's say you buy in and it's low and then it drops. Now you bought high and you're more or less out money. But until you sell, you're not out anything. So if it drops, what I was told to do by professionals and what I have experienced that works is you buy more. Just to make a simple example, I buy $10 worth of stock that's worth $1 per stock. So I have 10 stock. The stock drops to 50 cents. Now I've got $5 on the 10 that I put in. So I spend $10 more. I would buy $10 more of the stock, which brings the stock back up a little bit. It helps stabilize it. And also I now have $20 in. And instead of having stock that's at $10 or stock that's at $5, just making this easy for you, I split the difference because I bought one at 10, one at 5. Now my stock costs what? $7.50. So when it goes over $7.50, as it goes back up from the $5, it's much less time that I have to wait till I start making a profit. It's also a lot more profitable once you go over that $7.50 because now you've got twice as much money in that you weren't planning on having in. So for you to get back what you put in will come back faster, or you can whittle it away and take it out a little bit at a time. I mean, I personally, if I'm down on, if my stock goes down and then I buy in more and it goes up and I get positive 20, 50 cents, obviously it also depends on how fast it's rising. But once I get positive, 50 cents or more, that's a good spot to sell half of that stock off. Now you've got that half that you put in to rescue your ass, and then you can use the rest of the stock that you left in there to continue making money as it goes up. There's a variety of ways you can play it. This is, as described, what I was taught how to, and this is how I do it. Of course, if you have more money, you can put more in, make more, but the risk, it's all your own, and I'm not telling anybody how to do it. This is how I was told to do it and how I do it. And again, TikTok didn't like that I was telling people how I do it, and some Karen got me kicked off for 3 days. But I like sharing the information, so I jumped back over to my YouTube account to share the information with you guys and spread loving light. I got one comment in here. Anyway, thank you for the comment, Willie. Or question, or comment. You're right. I mean, to a certain extent, I think that a lot of times, excuse me. these companies and corporations, if it's not an algorithm going, it is some Karen that reports it, and then when they report it, the algorithm doesn't know what to do, and they figure if some human's reporting it, then it must be so. So they just cut you off, and that's one of the problems that I think is really a big problem in the world today is all the automation. There's very little human involvement, the human touch, the empathy, the understanding of what it means to stand in line and then be told no. I'm sorry, sir. I know you've been in line all day, but as you can see, it's after 5 and we're closed now. Yeah, whatever happened, the customer is always right. Well, the saying goes, the customer is always right in matters of taste. It doesn't mean that they're always right. It just means that however they like to eat their food is how they should get it. But I prefer the customer is always right, period, end of story, because, as somebody that's been the customer that's gotten kind of screwed over, and also the employee that's got yelled at by the customer that got screwed over by the company that I didn't do anything to you, but you're going to yell at me. All right, I don't think so. Anyway, I do want to thank everybody for showing up, jumping in, and saying hi today. I'm running a little low on gas myself. I've been trying to get back into the swing of things, and I'm really disappointed in being kicked off at TikTok for false accusations, and that is why I came over to YouTube. I do really like using YouTube, but it's really hard to get the interactive, and also I haven't been doing very much activism and stuff lately, or journalism, and that's more or less what this was created for. That's also why I came over here to do a quick bitch session about how at least I'm treated and have been treated on TikTok, false accusations and stuff. And it's very hard to get any kind of appeal or a human to talk to. So I just want to say to those of you out there that use YouTube, good for you. I've still yet to figure out how to monetize my YouTube, but I'm going to go back to doing some trading and stop trying to teach people and share the information and stories for the rest of the night. However, I will be back when I do get my TikTok back up live. It's James Cart, JAMEZ CART, like shopping cart. So it's more or less my cart at or on TikTok. And I have 3 days that I'll be using YouTube, so I will be back live tomorrow, and maybe there's something a little more exciting will happen. We'll get some sort of a mad rush dash to either sell or buy, and I will share with you how I'm handling the situation, because I have skin in the game. Right now, I am actually looking quite positive that even though I bought in and everything dropped, when I bought it lower and then let it float up a little bit, and then I sold some off to where I sold it off after it was positive. So that made the big difference to where I can still have some money on the side for making that difference float, depending on which one I need to float. And make money a few cents here and there at a time. So I do see that I've had quite a few viewers pass through here. It's been almost an hour. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, but I will be back on YouTube broadcasting. I might even do a 24 hours of Bitcoin. We'll call it bitcasting. Hopefully it will be, like I said, more exciting than it is now. There are days where I've actually spent 20 hours in front of the monitor, multiple monitors. And I'm not kidding. multiple monitors. And, it's fun. And I like sharing the information on how to make a buck. But I'm going to sign off for now. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Again, peace, love, and solidarity. Free Palestine. And let's end that with, if you see a veteran in need, please help them out.